What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Okay, guys, so we are basically going to continue our coverage over the Thunderbolts, and we actually do pick up with the last one-shot that we're going to cover, which basically leads us into the Secret Invasion tie-in that is actually very important when it comes to Norman Osborn and the Thunderbolts. Because as we know, after in Secret Invasion, we basically get Dark Reign. Now, with that being said, we're going to cover the last the last one-shot called Thunderbolts, Reason and Madness. And remember, when it comes to these one-shots, they're basically like a story to tell for one particular character. So the first one, Breaking Point, was Songbird. International Incident was the Radioactive Man. And this one is all about Venom. Now remember, Venom at this point is actually Matt Gargan, not Eddie Brock, not Flash Thompson, definitely not Peter Parker. But of course, this is all about him. It's all about Venom actually making a deal with Norman Osborn. And this deal is actually somewhat important for later stories for Venom and Norman Osborn in Dark Avengers and Thunderbolts as well. But here we go, Thunderbolts, Reason of Madness. Now, to get into today's storyline, we actually do pick up with the Thunderbolts right now going after a particular character known as Biohazard. Now, you have to remember, when it comes to the Thunderbolts that's right now under Norman Osborn's control, that basically after Civil War, you kind of had the American government make a new law. Not kind of, they did. And this new law was a way to kind of keep track of superheroes or super beings, meaning that if you did not register under the new law to basically work for the American government, you were breaking the law, which of course meant you need to be arrested. Even if you were a hero, you needed to be arrested because you're not working for the American government. Now, with that being said, they basically gave Norman Osborn this team as a way to go after those kind of characters. Now, Biohazard is, of course, not a hero, but he's still breaking the law because he is not registered under the new law. And so the Thunderbolts are here right now to go after Biohazard. Now, Biohazard is not really important for the storyline. And what I mean by that is because the point of this moment is to use Biohazard as a way to remove Venom away from the rest of the team. Because while you have the team fighting against Biohazard, that is the moment you have Biohazard actually send Venom flying across the actual city of New York. Now, after flying across the city, you do have Venom crash land in a particular area of the city. And again, this was part of a plan, and that plan was being done by a character known as Whirlwind. Now, Whirlwind was a interesting character in the early days of Marvel Comics. I mean, Marvel tried their best to make this character somewhat interesting to fans, to hopefully have fans actually like the character. But over the years, Whirlwind has become a D-list character. To me, honestly, he always been a D-list character. Matter of fact, I remember the first time I saw Whirlwind, when I saw Whirlwind was in that Avengers TV show back in the early 2010s. I think it was on Disney XD. But either way, though, Whirlwind actually had Biohazard send Venom away because when Matt Gargan was Scorpion, meaning that before he became Venom, Scorpion and Whirlwind were part of a team with other villains. Now, of course, this is Whirlwind telling Venom that he actually has a big plan. Now, for this plan to actually work, Venom must come back over here to meet Whirlwind and other people later on in the day. Now, of course, you do have Venom remind us that when it comes to the Thunderbolts, most of them are kind of stuck where they're at, meaning that they're forced to work for Norman Osborn. If they try to escape, there were things done put inside their body to basically shut down their body or cause them a lot of pain to, again, shut down their body if they try to get away from Norman Osborn in the Thunderbolt program. Because, again, they were bad guys. They were forced to work for Norman Osborn. But you do have Whirlwind give Venom some kind of syringe that basically if Venom uses it, it'll shut every single thing inside his body down so that Venom will be able to actually leave the base of the Thunderbolts to meet up with Whirlwind later on in the day. Now, the big question is, of course, will the actual syringe work? Meaning that whatever is inside that syringe, will it actually work? And will it actually help out Venom from escaping the actual base of the Thunderbolts? And we come to find out it does. Because right after he uses it, he's able to leave the base and actually go to the meeting spot to go see Whirlwind. Now, of course, when he does, he comes to find out that Whirlwind is actually not alone. Now, when you do have Matt Gargan, aka Venom, go meet up with Whirlwind, Whirlwind is with Tiger Shark, Mr. Hyde, and also Boomerang. Now, of course, most of these characters are D-list characters. Mr. Hyde, I'll say a C-list because in the 2000s, he did appear in a couple stories that actually were kind of interesting. Now, the one time I actually read a story about Mr. Hyde in the 2000s, like I actually found him kind of a cool character, was in the Young Avengers Volume 2 storyline. Either way, though, you actually do have Matt Gargan meet up with these guys. And of course, you do have these guys offer Venom the ability to finally be free, meaning that they'll actually help Venom out if he's able to do something for him. Now, of course, what they say is they'll help Venom no longer be under the control of Norman Osborn and kind of be free again from the Thunderbolts. Now, Venom is having a hard time believing this, but to have these characters to make sure Matt Gargan actually does help them out, they blackmail him. Because this is a reminder of what Matt Gargan used to be before he became Scorpion and Venom. He was a PI, a private investigator. And so, of course, he would go around doing some dirty work for some different clients. And of course, one of his clients were kind of asking him to do some digging on Norman Osborn, which of course, he was able to help that client out, kind of make Norman Osborn lose a big government contract, which of course means Norman Osborn lost a lot of money. Now, Norman Osborn has no idea that Matt Gargan is the reasoning why he lost that money. And so this is them saying, if you help us, that's great. If you don't help us, we'll tell your boss, Norman Osborn, that years ago, when you were a PI, you basically cost him a government contract, a lot of money. And of course, a lawsuit happened because of that as well. And so we all know Norman Osborn is not a very forgiving person. And so, of course, it's kind of them saying, help us or you get blackmailed. You choose. Now, of course, we actually do see Matt Gargan go and see Norman Osborn, which of course part of the plan was for Matt Gargan to get Norman Osborn and bring him back over to Whirlwind, Mr. Hyde, Tiger Shark, and Boomerang. Now, of course, when you have Matt Gargan walk in, you have Matt Gargan tell Norman Osborn to turn off all the cameras in the building or in that office. Now, of course, at first, Norman Osborn going to say no, but you have Matt Gargan remind Norman Osborn that they have been allies/enemies for years, going all the way back when they first came in as Scorpion and Green Goblin, both green creatures, as Matt Gargan says. Now, this is basically Matt Gargan saying, listen, I have something for you. I have dirt on a congressman. Now, of course, the dirt I got on this guy came from a reliable source, but my source wants $1 million. Now, if I do give you this information, you're going to pay my source $1 million, but you're going to give me and my suit a 1-week vacation, meaning that they're able to go out and do anything they want to do, and Norman Osborn cannot stop them at all, meaning that if the suit wants to eat people, the suit can eat people left and right, and Norman Osborn can't do anything. And so you do have Norman Osborn kind of first like, should I take this deal? But of course he says, yes, I will. And you have Norman Osborn go with Matt Gargan to meet with this reliable source that Venom is pretending to have. Now, you do have Venom and Norman Osborn go back to the warehouse where those other characters were hiding at. Now, Norman Osborn is still pretending that he is going to meet up with somebody who's basically has dirt on a congressman. And of course, that dirt comes with a cost. Now, when Norman Osborn walks in, he is confronted by Of course, Whirlwind, Tiger Shark, Mr. Hyde, and also Boomerang. Now, with all that being said, you have our characters change their mind on kind of getting rid of the Thunderbolts or getting rid of Norman Osborn by actually saying they're going to use Norman Osborn as a way for different things to help them out down the road. Like, for example, if they get arrested, Norman Osborn can break them out. Now, you do have Norman Osborn pretend like, okay, I'll help you guys out because it's 4 against 1. There's no way I can do this. Oh my gosh, here's this flash drive. It contains a lot of information about different things. That's the moment we come to find out Norman Osborn knew about this meeting because Venom told him. Because as soon as Boomerang or Tiger Shark plugged in the flash drive into the USB, the flash drive had a bomb inside of it. And of course, it goes off. Of course, it takes out, I want to say, Boomerang, which of course then leads into Norman Osborn and Venom taking out the rest of the group. Now, you would think Norman Osborn would kill these guys off, especially when his Green Goblin persona does pop out for a brief second. But of course, he's like, no. I'm not going to kill you guys. I want you to spread the word. Do not mess with me, or this will happen to you as well. Because these guys, they got beaten very badly. But of course, it's just him saying, Norman Osborn is somebody you do not want to mess with. Do you understand now? And they basically leave. Now, the way the book ends, you actually do have Venom and Norman Osborn make a deal. Because Venom told Norman Osborn what was going to happen, now Venom has the ability to leave the actual base of the Thunderbolts like once a day or once a week, whatever, to go do whatever he wants to do. Which of course meaning that if Venom wants to go out there and actually eat some people, he can actually do that now. But of course, this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. Guys, see y'all next time. Later.